It didn't happen during an argument. That's the detail that stayed with me later. How casually she said it, as if clarifying something logistical rather than relational. We were on her couch, shoes kicked off. The television playing something neither of us was watching. The kind of evening built from habit rather than intention. I told everyone at work you're my friend. She didn't look at me when she said it. Her attention was fixed on her phone, thumb moving lazily across the screen. I laughed at first. Not because it was funny, but because my brain tried to sort the sentence into something harmless. Your friend. Yeah. Still no eye contact. A pause stretched between us, waiting to be interpreted. Why? That was when she finally looked up. The hesitation was brief, but visible. Introducing you as my boyfriend is embarrassing. There are sentences that arrive like impact, loud and immediate. This one was different. It landed quietly, then began expanding inward, rearranging things without noise. Embarrassing, not wrong, not complicated, not uncertain, embarrassing. I remember noticing the room instead of reacting. The faint hum of the refrigerator from the kitchen. The soft glow of the television, the way her expression suggested discomfort but not guilt. She was bracing for something, defensiveness, maybe anger. Instead, I nodded, I understand. And I did, though not in the way she assumed. Because understanding is not the same as agreement. It is simply recognition, seeing something clearly without yet deciding what to do with it. She relaxed almost immediately. That's all I meant, she said. It's just work. It's different there. Different. Another word that explained everything while resolving nothing. We went back to the television after that, conversation dissolving into neutral commentary. But something fundamental had shifted, quietly and completely. Not my feelings. My posture. Alone later memory became an unreliable narrator. Moments replayed with new subtitles. Work stories where I existed vaguely. Someone, a friend. This guy I know. Invitations I'd never received. Events described but never shared. None of it had seemed significant at the time. Relationships are built on small omissions we learn not to interrogate. But now the pattern stood intact, unmistakable. I wasn't hidden. I was downgraded. The distinction mattered. Being hidden implies secrecy, fear, something illicit. Being downgraded implies evaluation, judgment, classification. I waited for anger to surface, for wounded pride to demand confrontation. It never fully arrived. Instead, something colder and steadier took shape. Observation, distance, a recalibration so subtle it almost felt like maturity. The Christmas party invitation came 2 weeks later. You're coming, right? The question carried the tone of expectation rather than enthusiasm. Of course. Another sincere answer with layered intent. By then, the injury had settled into clarity, not dull, just stable. Like an H you stop resisting. Somewhere inside that stability, a decision formed without drama. I wouldn't argue for visibility. I would mirror it. Her reaction when I arrived wasn't immediate. The hotel ballroom was already alive with polite corporate festivity, soft music, laughter tuned to professional volume, clusters of coworkers orbiting drinks and conversation. I entered with someone else. Not strategically chosen. Just someone I'd met recently, whose company required no negotiation, no interpretive effort. Ease has its own kind of gravity. She spotted me near the bar. Confusion flickered first, then recognition. Then something sharper. She crossed the room quickly, smile stretched into something too deliberate. You didn't tell me you were bringing someone. You didn't ask. The words were delivered gently, almost conversationally. I turned slightly toward my date, my friend. The pause that followed was microscopic but seismic. Her eyes locked onto mine, the symmetry registered instantly. This isn't funny. I know. Which was true. Nothing about the moment felt humorous, only precise. Her boss approached 10 minutes later. Authority in corporate spaces is rarely theatrical. It operates through presence, tone, the subtle gravitational pull of hierarchy. He was genial, observant, carrying the effortless confidence of someone accustomed to being acknowledged. And who do we have here? She hesitated, just slightly, long enough I extended my hand. I'm her friend. The boss smiled politely, but his eyes lingered with faint curiosity. Friend. Yes, calm, neutral, uncomplicated. Coworkers nearby shifted almost imperceptibly, social radars adjusting. Because inconsistencies are louder in professional environments. Narratives must align. Someone asked how we'd met. Another referenced something she'd previously said. The conversational temperature changed, subtle recalculations, glances exchanged, quiet cognitive friction. No accusations, just awareness. The most uncomfortable force in any social setting. Reality asserting itself without confrontation. She found me later near the dessert table. What are you doing? The question was whispered, urgency tightly controlled. Enjoying the party. You're humiliating me. The word echoed strangely. Humiliating. As if dignity were something I'd taken rather than something she'd previously redefined. I'm using your language. That's not the same. No, and there it was, the first honest sentence of the evening. Because it wasn't the same. When she said, friend, it reduced me. When I said it, it revealed her. The difference wasn't intent, it was context. Audience, consequence, we left separately. No dramatic confrontation, no theatrical ending. Just a silence dense with altered understanding. People expect stories like this to end with triumph. Vindication. Closure, but the real shift happened somewhere quieter. Driving home, I noticed something unfamiliar. Relief. Not because of what I'd done, but because of what I'd stopped doing. Competing, negotiating, waiting to be chosen. Self-worth, I realized, doesn't announce itself loudly, it simply removes urgency, and in that absence certain dynamics collapse naturally. Not from revenge, from irrelevance. Whether the relationship survived became, for the first time, a secondary question. Because something more fundamental had already changed, I no longer needed introduction to define legitimacy, I had quietly reclaimed it.